What if I told you you could be this guy every woman wants without having to amass riches necessarily for yourself? Now, the most common narrative is that women are attracted to men who have money. You hear that all over the place. Just for a second, let's assume that it's true, right? What then happens to all the men who are not rich and never will be? Will they ever find a partner? We all know a good number of them still do. So the question is, what do these not so rich guys know that others don't? Here are some interesting stats for you. Now, as of 2021, there are approximately 56.1 million millionaires globally, and the men account for about 70 to 80% of millionaires, right? Guess what? The majority of millionaires are actually aged between the ages of 50 and 70 years old. The highest concentration of millionaires is actually found in North America, followed by Europe and Asia. Now, this simply means of the global adult population of approximately 5.3 billion, a very, very minute number of people, and specifically even men, are rich. That kind of rich. It's not a math class, but I had to put this out there so you know that there are more people in the world who are not rich as opposed to those who are. And of course, you probably already knew that. Now, putting the rich conversation aside, why are women chasing this kind of guy and not others? The guy who has nothing. Plus, how can you become that guy? I got you today. Welcome back. Jessica OS here. This is my channel. So what type of guy has become top on a woman's chase list? You ready? The unavailable guy. Why is this happening? What's the psychology behind it? And how can being less available sometimes work to a man's advantage? How can you become more unavailable to increase your desirability? Stick around, I'll unravel the answers to these questions. Now first, let's define what I mean by unavailable. This can mean someone who's emotionally unavailable, already in a relationship, or just seems out of reach for various reasons. Now, why would anybody be attracted to someone who isn't fully accessible? Now, I'll give you a couple of psychological reasons, if you'll permit. Now, the first thing you want to consider, or I want to talk about, is something called the scarcity principle. Now, this principle actually suggests that people tend to value what is less available. When something is scarce, it appears more valuable to people. In the context of relationships, however, an unavailable person seems more desirable because they're not easily attainable, right? There's the challenge and the excitement that comes with scarcity or unavailability, right? So human beings often seek excitement and challenge. Pursuing someone who's unavailable can feel like an adventurous quest, providing that sense of thrill and accomplishment. The uncertainty and unpredictability associated with unavailable people can make interactions more stimulating. Delving deeper, when it comes to validation and self-esteem, right? The attraction to unavailable individuals can be rooted in some of these things. The desire for validation. Being chosen by someone who's hard to get can give a huge ego boost. It's a way to affirm one's worth and attractiveness. The harder the conquest, the higher the perceived value of the reward, which in this case is the unavailable person's attention or affection. Get that straight. There's another aspect of just fantasy and idealization, right? Let me explain. So now when someone is unavailable, it's easier to project fantasies and just idealize them, right? Without full access, people fill in the gaps pretty much in their imagination, often creating this idealized version of the person, right? It can be powerful, intoxicating. I mean, whatever your version of this person is what you just hold on to, right? There is that whole avoidance of commitment as well. For some, being attracted to unavailable people is a subconscious way to avoid commitment. I mean, if someone's already in a relationship or emotionally distant, there's a built-in excuse for why a deeper connection cannot be formed, right? So this can be appealing to women who, for instance, fear vulnerability or are not ready for a serious relationship. And I'm sure that by now it's slowly becoming apparent to you why being less available can be a man's superpower. Let's think through this together, okay? When you're unavailable, there's increased perceived value, just like the scarcity principle that I talked about earlier. Being less available will increase that perceived value. When you're not always accessible, it signals that your time and attention are valuable, making you appear more desirable and intriguing, right? Making all the times that you meet her more meaningful. Maintaining mystery is another thing, right? Being less available helps in maintaining that air of mystery, enigma around you, right? Mystery is a powerful attractant because it piques curiosity. It keeps women engaged. When everything about you isn't laid out on the table from the get-go, it leaves room for imagination and keeps that interest alive and strong. We talk about confidence and independence. When you're unavailable, it often correlates with confidence, independence. If you're not constantly seeking someone's attention, it shows that you're self-sufficient and confident in your own life and the way things go. This independence can be very attractive as it demonstrates that you're not relying on other people for sustenance or happiness, right? When it comes to setting boundaries, being less available also sets those healthy boundaries, right? It shows that you have a life outside the relationship and that you value your own space and time. Now, this can encourage mutual respect and a more balanced relationship dynamic. Okay. Being unavailable helps you avoid neediness. Women don't like needy guys, right? But by being less available, you avoid coming across as a needy or desperate guy. And this will help maintain your self-respect, making her see you as a high-value man. So being unavailable in a relationship doesn't necessarily mean neglecting or ignoring her. I mean, instead, it's about maintaining a sense of independence, cultivating that self-respect, ensuring that there's a balanced dynamic happening in your relationship. Now, let me share more practical steps on how you can master being unavailable in a healthy and attractive way, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to turn you into this, so to speak. The first thing you want to do is to cultivate your own interests and hobbies, guys. Having your own interests and hobbies not only makes you more interesting, but also signals that you have a fulfilling life outside the relationship. So you want to dedicate specific times during the week, for instance, to pursue those hobbies, pursue those interests that you're passionate about. I don't know what it might be. Sports, music, art, any other activity. Just make sure that it's something that brings you joy. Also, don't be afraid to try new things. Take up that hobby or learning a new skill. It will be exciting. It can add to your personal development. Second thing you want to do is to set boundaries. These healthy boundaries will ensure that you and her respect each other's personal space and time. If you've planned time for yourself, stick to it. It shows that you value your own commitments as much as you do hers. The third thing is you want to focus on your goals and ambitions. Now, a man with goals and ambitions is attractive because it demonstrates drive, purpose, right? So make sure you allocate time to work towards your personal and professional goals. This means taking time away from your partner to focus on work, study, personal projects. Keep your partner informed about your ambitions and progress. This helps her to understand and appreciate the commitment to your goals, and it paints a very good picture in her eyes. The fourth thing you want to do is to maintain a social life. There are too many of you that just give up everything when you're in love. Having a robust social life indicates that you're a well-rounded guy and not solely dependent on her for companionship and fulfillment. You want to regularly make plans to hang out with friends and family. This keeps your social circle active and prevents you from being overly reliant on her. Always available, right? A healthy relationship actually thrives on that mutual independence that you both gift yourselves. Fifth thing, practice self-care and personal development. And this has crept up in some of the stuff I've already talked about. Why does it matter? Taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally makes you a better person and a more attractive individual, right? So you want to do the usual, incorporate exercise, eat healthy. Physical well-being boosts your confidence and your energy. Invest in personal development through those workshops, courses, books, self-study. This not only improves your skills, but also keeps you intellectually stimulated. Sixth thing you want to do, my guy, be selectively available. I'll break that down. So being selectively available means being present and being attentive during important moments while maintaining your independence during less critical times. So you want to focus on making the time you spend with your partner high quality. Be fully present, put that phone aside, engage in the interactions. While it's important to stay in touch, avoid over communication as well, right? You want to give her some time and space to miss you. 7, build anticipation and excitement. So anticipation will keep the relationship exciting and prevent it from becoming stale or monotonous. Occasionally, you want to surprise her with spontaneous plans, thoughtful gestures, right? Don't reveal every detail of your day-to-day life. Leave some space to be discovered and discussed later. Okay, things like that can help. Let me wrap up this video. So in conclusion, I mean, let's get this straight. I'm by no means insinuating through this video that the only reason women are chasing men is because they're unavailable. There are, in fact, a plethora of reasons why women do this, but unavailability increases your likability, right? Listen, while being unavailable can sometimes be like a strategic advantage, it's important to strike that balance, okay? Authenticity, respect, and clear communication should always be at the core of your relationship strategy. Remember, the goal is not to play games, but to understand how to encourage certain behaviors in women that you like and build those meaningful connections that will benefit both of you at the end of the day. Are there other qualities and traits that women find attractive that make women chase men? By all means. But this is how you can become unavailable and win hearts. My name is Jessica. If you like the submission, please smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you get notified every single time I post. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.